All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve Butler. And if you've been following some of my video presentations, you realize that I've been investigating vintage trading cards on eBay that I believe are related to the Nancy Guthrie abduction, and that we found coding on some of the cards that have identified individuals. This seems to be one of the most important ones. We went through a set of 6, of which we called the snake, the golden calf, the elephant, the native people, the protected building, and then the card with the girl with the older lady. And in that video, I had shown you how the Veneration des Animaux was on every card. As you can see, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, and it's there. But only on 2 cards is it broken up like that, where it's not straight across. And that's on the card with the young girl with the older lady, and the card with the snake and the monk. But during the process of watching the cards on the actual site on eBay, we were able to determine that this had been listed about 4 or 5 times. And in each set, there was what looked like a flash that wasn't really there. I was trying to see if I could duplicate it, but see, it was an artistic flash done by Albert Lee Terry Jr. And in that, we were able to eliminate certain cards if we had guessed right about the coding method. And upon doing that, we had eliminated the golden calf, we had eliminated the snake, we had eliminated the elephant, and we had eliminated the Indian card as the most important cards. It doesn't say that they don't still have codes, but we eliminated them as the most important cards, and we came down to the protected building and the young lady with the older lady who's actually giving her food and taking care of her. When I looked at this card and seeing that it was only these 2 cards left, and this was the one that had the broken string of the Veneration des Animaux, I thought to myself, this is the most important card. And kind of understanding how zodiac coding goes, because these are the product of Albert Lee Terry Jr., aka Friar David Collins in St. John Apostle in Kingston, Ontario, serial killer on the run. I remember that most of their codes are just truncated words or anagrams in reverse. So I thought X marks the spot. We're in Arizona, so University of Arizona, and then Mina. I went online, I put in those search parameters, and up came a girl named Mina who looked exactly, exactly like this young lady right here. So we believe that she was the person tasked with taking care of Nancy Guthrie upon abduction. We don't know if Nancy Guthrie ever got out of the house alive, is what we're starting to think. We don't have any evidence to the fact because we don't have access to what the Pima County Sheriff knows. But we don't know if she ever got a chance to take care of Nancy Guthrie. We hope she's alive, but it's highly possible that Albert did the same thing in this case that he did in the Joan Benet Ramsey case, which people don't realize he was responsible for that, where they went in with a stun gun. Could you imagine hitting Nancy Guthrie with a stun gun with a pacemaker? She could have had a heart attack right there and died. And if she was electrocuted by the stun gun, that would have produced a nosebleed. It happens all the time to people that get electrocuted. So we're beginning to wonder whether or not that's why they never, ever even attempted to show proof of life, because it may have been a tragic ending right then and there. We had a friend of ours that was hit with a stun gun by LAPD, and he had a heart attack and died because of that incident. They actually lost like a $9 million judgment or $7 million judgment because they hit him so many times that they basically murdered him, and that's what the civil court found. So that's why I have experience in understanding how electric shock can produce a nosebleed and a heart attack. So it's possible that people are focusing on the family, saying there's no forced entry. But I saw a show, The Closer, with Brenda, and it was a great plot where everybody had focused on the wrong suspect because of no forced entry. Without getting into the total plot, they finally realized that the victim, which was a judge, had reported a minor break-in into her car to a police officer that she was trying to tell that she was being stalked and somebody was breaking into her house. Nobody really believed him. He was trying to get resources, but it just kind of got blown off. And they were blaming him, thinking that he had killed the judge because he had raped her or something. It was crazy. In the end, what they found out is that the car was broken into to steal the garage door opener. It was cloned and then replaced, and that the true murderer had entered through the garage using the garage door opener. That's why there was no forced entry. All we know or have been told is that Nancy Guthrie's garage door opened and closed at a certain time, but we don't have any evidence that that's how she entered her house. So it's very possible that that ring camera footage, if it is real at all, was after they had already entered the home, and perhaps after she may have had a heart attack, right? Or was very, very sick because of probably being hit with a stun gun or something like that. And they had to carry her out the front, and her nose was dripping from blood from being electrocuted. So that's speculation, but this is not. This is not an accident. This is a card that was designed that is not actually, right, 100 years old. And if you saw the picture of this girl, Mina, which I can't do on here because it's actually on my phone, you will see that that's not even a resemblance, that is a portrait. And Albert Lee Terry Jr. is that good. So we believe that he corrupted some young people at the University of Arizona based on some lies to get them to do this as what they thought was some kind of political protest. And that in the end, that they were actually going to get paid and strike a blow for their political cause as a new generation of Zodiacs. When in reality, there was never any connection between the Guthrie family that we can find in their political cause. And like in the JonBenet Ramsey thing, the true target of the extortion wasn't the Ramsey family. It was two people in California that were his ex-associates in the Zodiac that he's harbored angry feelings for over 60 years. And we bet if we saw the actual ransom note, we would see the same thing. So he was never really interested in the money, which means that he ruined these people's lives only for his own personal vengeance. Again, creating a situation where now they have to live the rest of their lives like him as criminals on the run. And I think that was his ultimate goal. He's really a sick person. He's been protected by the government for 6 decades. It's time to put that puppy in a cage. Mina, come home.